It's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. I wanted to do a very, very simple card that I saw somewhere, the idea of it, but not necessarily what I'm doing. So what I've done is I've taken a 5 1/4 inch square piece of, well, this is watercolor paper, but you could use any white paper. I think white is going to be the important part because we're going to be doing a rainbow on it. And what I did is I took a ruler and I just divided my circle. I don't know if you can see the circle. I took my biggest circle die. Sorry, I forgot this part. I took my biggest circle die and I drew a line around it. Then I took it off and I drew little pie shapes, by taking cross hatches. I did horizontal, then I did vertical, and then I just divided those two in half. So I have 8 pieces of pie. Now, I'm not looking to make this a really tricky card. It's going to be relatively simple, in my opinion. I'm just going to be coloring in each of my pies with markers, and I'm doing them in rainbow order. I'm changing over this to, I don't know why these went dry so fast, but they did send me new ones, which made me happy. I haven't taken them out of the bag yet. Let me see if I can get a red one from the other set. Okay, I'm using DR4, hopefully, and hopefully this one has juice in it. I'm going to have to go over that other color. I'm going to go over this a couple times. If you use alcohol markers and you're comfortable with them, you know that you're going to get a darker color if you go over your image more than once. So I know I'm sloppy and I'm trying to do this quickly, which isn't the smartest way to do a card, but I didn't want you guys to watch me color for hours and hours. So let me just do this, and I'll have Rich fast forward through the coloring so you don't have to watch it, but let me give you the colors I'm using first. I'm going to be using LY3, OR1, and then I'm going into the other colors, 43, 72, 87, 82, and 147. So that's what we're doing now. And I'm doing them in rainbow order, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, like a pink, and then more of a lavender, and then a purple. That's my plan. Okay, so now we have everything done. Our next course of action is to lay all of our circles the way they're supposed to be laid, and I'm going to get some tape and tape these down, but I want to make sure that I get everybody in the pool first, and then I'm going to tape them down so that everybody's lined up properly. I don't want to have a big mess on my hands. I know that it doesn't matter what I have on the outside, like of my frames. I just need everything to be centered properly, and this is going to be the tricky part for me because I've never been good at trying to get things lined up properly. This one right here is the funky one. Let's see if I can lay them down like that. I'm going to flip it over and take everything off, and then I'll see if they look like they're centered or not. This way at least we can kind of figure it out. We're going with it like that. Alright, we're going to flip it back over onto our masterpiece here. And then I'm going to tape the edges down. I'm going to run the tape around the back because I don't think the back really matters. And let's hope that this thing cuts. Looks good. Now I just need to get my paper and I'll be right back. So I'm going to use sentiments Thinking of You with Love from Floral Sentiments by My Creative Times. And I'm going to be using Happy Anniversary from, I don't know what it is, TAC, Trendy Greetings, Feel Better. That was 2 different stamp sets that were in there. I don't know what TAC stands for, and I feel bad that I don't, but I don't know where I got those from. I've had them a long time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp those on vellum with Versamark, and then I'm going to be using some, I'm not sure, maybe I should stamp them with black instead. I think I'll do the Versamark instead because I like a nice dark greeting on the outside of my cards. So let's go with that instead. So I'm going to just stamp those 2 sentiments with my Versamark, and then we'll still use clear embossing powder on them. I'll probably have to stamp these a couple of times because I want to make a really dark impression on my vellum, and the only way I think to do that is to stamp on them twice. So that's what I'm going to do. And then of course the embossing powder makes it darker when it's, because it's shinier, it makes it darker. I think that's pretty good. Then because it's so wet, it'll hold the powder really well. I'm going to move those out of the way. When you're using vellum, you can kind of still tilt, bend it like that. Unlike paper, vellum makes it easy to do that with. Okay, I'll turn my heat tool on. You want to heat that, you want to get it hot before you take it to your vellum. Oops, I just smeared a little off. But you want to make sure your tool is really hot before you take it to your vellum, because vellum can melt and warp and be really a nightmare. So you want to make sure that your tool is as hot as you can get it before you put it to the vellum. And I'm going to show you as soon as, I want to make sure I get everything out of the way so that you see this. Okay. And you want to move it around because you don't want to end up having your vellum have a problem with it. Perfect. Well, as perfect as I do anything, right? So I'm going to take off these 2 sentiments, and I'm going to do the inside of the card with the Happy Anniversary sentiment, and I'm going to do that in in the same Versamark Onyx Black, and that way it'll be nice and vivid too. I probably should have taken out my little spongy thing, but I think I forgot to do that. Just checking to see if it's straight. Sorry, my head's in the way. Okay. Stamp that up. Oh, that's a pretty font. Can you see that? I hope you can. And watch when I do this the 3rd time. I think you can really see when you do this the 3rd time just how much darker it gets when you do that. See, it's just nice and vivid now. It looks like when you get a card in a store, it's really a nice font. I almost set that in something else that was wet. Okay, I'm going to take that out, and I can put this away. Oh boy, I just dropped my circles. Now they're probably everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to show you why I like this idea so much. Look how cool this is once you have these. I got to get this center out. Once you have these stitch dies, of course I'm going to line them up so that all the colors are in the right places. But isn't that cool the way it looks with the stitch dies? I don't know why this occurred to me that I thought I have to try this because it just seemed like it would be so fun to do, and it is. I'm going to turn that piece, and then I'm going to put a big piece of tape on the back. I'm going to see if I can center them. Then I'm going to get a piece just of Scotch tape and tape the back so that we're sure that everybody's lined up and in the right spot. And then I can put it on my card easier if I have it all taped down. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So I'm just going to lay my tape like this on my background. Hopefully, if I can get my fingers off of it. Probably not. Okay, I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to slide this around, and I'm going to make sure all these are lined up. And they look like they are. I just laid them in the center of my tape. They don't look like any of them are really out of sync. The only one that really needs to be centered in here is this one. And you don't want to lay it in wrong because it can screw up the whole all of our project. So then I'm going to get another piece, tape it in this direction, and the third piece. I don't want these to come apart on the card. I don't want them to move. I want them to look perfect the whole time. And then I'm going to cut off, obviously, all of these pieces of tape that are sticking out. I might pop these up on dimensionals. Then again, I might not. I haven't decided. I just knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted it to involve the vellum, but I didn't know like what I wanted to do after that point. Then here is our card. Our card base right now is pretty big and pretty simple. I want to make sure I'm going to get something to, I don't know what I did with my bond folder. There it is. There it is. It wasn't running away like usual. This one is from Fiskars. I really like the shape of it. I have one of the ones that everybody loves that's Teflon, and to be honest with you, I don't notice the difference. I know all of you out there who have them are groaning right now saying, what are you talking about? There's a complete big difference in them. Well, I don't notice it. I'm sorry. It's just me. Okay, I can see this is one of those cards that comes pre-made, and it's a little bit wonky. The bottom isn't cut straight, so I'm going to fix that before I go any further, because I don't like that when there's a little bit of unevenness to my card. I like it all to be even. That's what I'm saying. The next thing I want to do, I think, is I want to clean up this edge because it feels a little rough. So I have this little nail filey thing. Sometimes when you get these pre-made cards, they're a little bit, I don't know, I'll just call them not perfect. So you have to do a little bit of work on them. They are inexpensive, but you know, that comes at kind of a price. Okay. Of course, I have some glitter on it now. So now I do think I need to pop this up. I'm going to do that. And because I love you guys so much, I'm going to do it with my horrid foam tape that I dread so much. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Sandy, you're so brave. I know it. Braver than brave. Alright, let go. Get under there. Alright, now I'm talking to it pretty much. I think I'm going to put it right there, kind of in the center. So this is for a 40th anniversary card, and I decided that in the middle of my big circle I'm going to try and put the 40 in these chipboard letters. Now or numbers. We'll wait and see if it works. I picked this festive berry color. I'm probably going to have to go around it with one of my micro brushes to get the colors in there. I did a heck of a job getting it on my fingers, though. I want you to know. I did a super duper job with that. See how lovely? Pretty. Okay, let me get my micro brush. I'm going to get both sides kind of inked up. I think this red is pretty close to the red that I'm trying to copy. 40th anniversary color is the ruby. That's why I'm using red, in case you wondered. And I thought it would be nice to stick with the ruby. Perfect. Looking like a champ. Now I just have to do the sides. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I put my sentiments up on white with red behind it, and I'm going to just slide this into the bottom corner, even with the bottom corner, and line it up, and then I'm going to push my circles back down where they were. And then I have this thinking of you that goes at the top, and hopefully it'll cover up. I have to cut off that little piece of vellum that's sticking out over the edge. So then I'm going to do the red and white thinking of you, and I'll move everything back. Whoops. Back so you can see it. Doing the same thing. We're going to just slide it over a little bit from the edge, but all the way down. Lining it up at the top so that it's exactly at the top. That looks good. I took the 4 and the 0 that were just chipboard letters and I stuck them in ink, and then I put embossing powder over them. But now that I'm done with them, I really don't like them, and I might put the 40 inside like that. I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. And so what we'll need to do is just get some of this multi-matte medium and put it on the back pretty heavily, I think. Okay, I'm going to put the 4 right there, and the 0 I'm going to clean up again like I cleaned the 4. Looks pretty good. And I'll put the 0 right there, and I'll put this down here. Okay, so I'm just going to let them sit for a while and hope that they stick, and then I can maybe, I think I'll take a white gel pen and just clean up that pink area. So I'll be back in just a minute. Here's the card finished. It has the 40 in the inside, and I think it looks cute. I hope you enjoyed this and that you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell one friend about me. I'd really appreciate that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.